All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Wednesday, December 18th, set today by Imogen, which is the tougher alias of Vulcan, who we had on Monday. And he was a little tougher than usual, so I'm dreading Imogen today. But let's see what we have. Getting denounced, recollecting Satanism, I got it. Well, I'm wondering if recollecting could be recollecting, as in rearranging. Satanism, 8 letters. I got it is 6, so that's 14. So it's going to be an anagram of that meaning getting denounced. What's a word that means getting denounced? Uh, will I try the anagram helper? I don't like trying it with these very long ones, but it would be great to get this one with all those. Oh yeah, I didn't mention I like the grid today. A lot of starting letters, so let's shuffle that. Uh, oh, we have ing, so getting denounced could definitely be an ing word. I think it could be an ization word too. Um, that would leave over. Oh, what would that leave over? I just think that the M, the S, yeah, we'd have another S and a G. And we've got 3 T's. Oh, is it stigmatization? Let me try that. Stigmatization. I think that's the anagram, and that's a great one to start off with. Yeah, so I suppose being denounced, having a stigma upon you. Let's try these downs now. Charity, perhaps, offering spare part for old clock. Well, I don't like these ones that remind me of jokes we used to tell when we were children, but I think it must be a second-hand shop. That seems to me more like a Vulcan clue than an Imogen clue. All right, European home welcomes police chief. I think it's going to be a European nationality. And if you're home, you're in. So I'm thinking that's going to welcome something for a maybe police and then chief. Thinking Italian, but how is Talia police chief? Yeah, I'm not sure. What other European nationalities begin with Irish, of course, Icelandic, but ending in N? Oh, maybe the in just welcomes police and then we finish with chief. No. Maybe there is a famous police chief called Talia. That's a woman's name, I think. So maybe in fiction, there's a famous. Hmm, I'll come back to it. Mexican ensembles have charisma I fancy. All right, well, charisma I has 9 letters. A fancy version of that might be an anagram. I think this is going to be mariachis. Yeah, I like that. I do like the sound of a mariachi band. Private hospital in multi-story municipal building. Well, if we break it at municipal building, I'm thinking town hall. But how would that be private hospital in multi-story? I'll put it in just to see if it makes any more sense. Private might, yeah, private I think might be a soldier. I think there's OR, is it for other ranks or something like that? Yeah, I'm H for hospital. I'm just wondering if private, as in something that is owned by somebody, but I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, I'm not convinced by that one, so let's take that out. What else might it be? Hospital can be ENT, tent city, tent something or other. No. Detective writer speaks without hesitation. I think it might be a detective writer. Um, Trying to think of, oh, Sayers. Ah, yes, so speaks is says, and that goes without or outside of which you might say when you're hesitating, to give us Dorothy L. Sayers. All right. Order back in penalty box. Well, has a football surface. I'm wondering if we put the back letter of order, the R, inside a word for penalty. And then we get a word for box, which could be a crate type of box, but could also be fisticuffs. Yeah, I don't see it. What would a penalty be? Four letters beginning with T. No. Notice paper is short. All right, well, beginning with O, I immediately thought of observe for notice, and it is the Observer, which has been in the news recently, being sold by The Guardian, but it is short, one letter. All right, let's go back to the acrosses. Remove remains of meal, lucky fugitive might get. That's a funny one. So, to remove something might be to something away. Yeah, so I'm thinking it, the definition is remove, clear away, I think. Hmm. Yeah, so actually, no, I think it's a double definition to remove the remains of a meal. At a restaurant, the waiter may come and, or the busboy, clear away, and a lucky fugitive might get clear away. I think it's maybe that's more of a British phrase. He got clear away. All right, stockholder has girl round. I'm a stockholder, of course, we think of shareholder, but just seeing girl, one of the first words that pops in my head is lass or gal, but lass came to me, and then round can be an O. And I'm wondering if it's lasso, and so it's literally something that holds stock, as in cattle. I like that, so I'm going to stick with it. Let's see. New song alto gets ready in West Africa. Well, I'm sure, or confident, I should say, the N we have is for new. Then we'll have a word for song. And then I think the A might be the alto. Yeah, I think in music notation, when they write the four main voices, alto is A. And then ready, oh, we've seen before where ready can be money. So I think it might be a currency of West Africa, which I do not know any currency. But I am wondering if a song might be an air. So let me pause and look up Naira. Yes, the Naira is the currency of Nigeria. All right. Toughest part of job, getting gardens concreted over. Well, I'm thinking just, I suppose, making word connections. Toughest, something is tough, it's hard. And concreted over might be like a hard surface of something. Yeah, which actually town hall is now looking pretty good. So getting gardens, yeah, maybe it's just a double definition where one might be a bit of a stretch. Toughest part of job. No, I'm not seeing it, so we'll come back. Affectionate gesture given smartphone, for example. So I think it's yeah, affectionate gesture given. You have to break it there. Well, that would be hand, comma held, maybe. And a smartphone is an example of a handheld device. At short notice, book expensively for one. All right. No idea on that one. Keeping it in the family, getting home back is best. Oh, I think, yeah, this one is a little close to the bone, but I'm thinking that the best thing might be the nicest. And how I got that was thinking home again, just as we saw. Well, I still haven't finished two down, but home is often in. If you're home, you are in. And if that is back, then we would start with NI. And then I just thought, oh, best might be nicest. But keeping it in the family is incest. Not sure about that. Anyway, and we turn the in backwards to give us nicest. All right. Luckily, we had the N, so I knew which way around to put that. All right. Judge, park, calm. Doesn't read very nicely. Judge, park, calm. Is it a triple definition? I do like a nice triple definition, and I would forgive Imogen the rough surface for that. Or is it a charade? Probably more likely, oh, J for judge, and then a word for park. That's going to mean calm. What's a word for calm beginning with J? Or is it going to be a word for judge? Where we put together a word for park. Park could be to park something, to set it, put it, and then a word for calm. No, not getting it. Host isn't one to convert believer. I think one is going to be I, and then with the host isn't, we have 9 letters. So I think we're going to anagram that. Let's try. Ooh, I think a Shintoist. I've heard of Shinto. Is it a Japanese religion? I don't think I've ever heard the word Shintoist before or said it. So let me pause and look that up. Yes, it is a religion originating in Japan. Um, Funnily enough, they say scholars sometimes call its practitioners Shintoists, although adherents rarely use that term themselves. Oh, now we know. All right, do one more across and then go back to the downs. Sweep's friend covered in coal dust. Well, if you're old enough, like me, you immediately, your mind goes to Sooty. Sooty and Sweep were two hand puppets. And so Sweep's friend, Sooty, and covered in coal dust. A little unfair on the younger solvers, I think, or anyone outside who didn't grow up in the British Isles. Anyway, all right, how about intruder, an idiot, but sweet? Oh, yes, so I'm thinking it's going to be a sweet as in a dessert. And so it's going to be a something fool. I think intruder is being used very loosely here, but um, I suppose what's a spare wheel? Somebody who might, maybe a couple is trying to have a date and there's somebody tagging along with them. That person would be a gooseberry, and then gooseberry fool. Haven't had a gooseberry fool in a long time. Very nice. All right, fumbles, ice cream and cake. Um, Again, this might be a cake, and we have to, maybe that S at the start of the second word is actually the S for a word meaning fumbles, as in drop something. Is there a cake drop? Yeah, I think there is a drop scone. Now, I don't watch the Great British Bake Off, but I'm sure they do drop scones on that. But anyway, the ice cream is a cone. I have had an ice cream cone not too long ago. Always delicious. All right, what's missing from book? Oh my, a tiny bit. Well, the oh my has to be part of wordplay, but I don't get it. A tiny bit might be iota or a jot, atom. What's missing from book? I'm wondering if there's something like an erratum slip tells you the errors. Is there something that says what is missing? No, I don't know it. Fast ship a cutter. Yes and no. Well, I immediately, excuse me, think of a clipper ship. Um, I don't quite get the yes and no. So this is the first one I'm going to make a note of to check at 15 squared at the end. I know a cutter is another type of ship, I think. So a clipper, I'll leave it in. Tiny, drink not allowed, unsuccessful ex-student. Yeah, I don't know where to go with that. Tiny drink, I don't think is going to be the definition. Maybe tiny. And then drink not allowed might be something like dry or unsuccessful. And then an ex-student can be an old boy. We do have an O, but but I can't see it ending in OB, something job. But for tiny, no. Let's finish the downs. Snack needed by someone overweight in the rain. Ah, I don't get that. I presume it's going to be a snack, and then maybe punningly it's needed by someone overweight in the rain, like a big umbrella, big top, big fig. No, great boxers, extremely tiny child. Um, Great boxer. Immediately think of Muhammad Ali, who does have a child who boxes, doesn't he? A daughter. Extremely tiny, I think, is going to be. Ah, yes. So I think the outer letters of tiny are TY. A child might be a son, and Mike Tyson, who was a great boxer. All right. Let's finish the acrosses. One's counterparts work to withdraw concession. Wow. I'm thinking your counterpart might be the opposition, and I think, yeah, I think, oops, maybe there is a, I know there's Oppo research. I often see that abbreviation there. So maybe you can talk about oppos as your counterparts. Work, as we often see, is OP for opus, Latin for work. And a concession might be a SOP, and that is withdrawn or reversed. All right, in Missouri, carpool went west, he went east. All right, so um, immediately thinking of Marco Polo. So, how is this working? We don't, I mean, polo and pool. Although polo is a type of car as well. And oh, Missouri. Yeah, I think is MO. So it's all within MO, Missouri. And then we do have carpool anagrammed. Yeah, I've thought when I read it went west, we would have things written backwards, but that's not it. So I'm just going to make a note to see what the exact parsing of that should be. All right. Describing a number of teeth after a time on scanner falling out. Wow. Could it mean falling out as in falling out with somebody, a disagreement or an estrangement? Or is it a word for a number of teeth? Like it could end in FUL, like mouthful, or it could be teeth of a gear. I don't know. I don't see that one. All right, our snack. Oh, yeah, I suppose a large person would need to wear a large Macintosh or a Big Mac. I don't know if a Big Mac is a snack. For me, it would be a full meal. So, anyway, now we have that C. That's helpful, I think. I think there must be a vowel in between the N and the C. Pro. No, not seeing it. All right. Toughest part of job, getting gardens concreted over. Still not seeing that. Oh, so two down is not Italian. Oh, how about Yes, the head of the Soviet secret police, wasn't that Beria? And so Iberian would be a European. All right, this must be town hall. Hospital in multi-story. I do see around the outside we have tall. I suppose a multi-story building you might call it tall. So then I think private must be. I suppose my private affairs are my own affairs. I think that's how you read that, but not sure. All right, order back in penalty box. All right, I don't think we're putting the R inside of that. Yeah, I think it might be a word for order, which is reversed, and it gives us penalty. What's penalty box though? No. Ooh, ah. So I looked at this one because I glanced and I thought, oh, adverb would fit. And when I looked down at the clue, I saw expensively for one. Well, expensively is an adverb. So how is the wordplay working at short notice? Well, book I think is the B at the end. Ah, a notice can be an advert, and we have a short one to give adver. All right. All right. Still, unless getting gardens concreted over is wordplay, but I know, I don't see how that would. I think it must be just this double definition where one is a bit of a stretch. Hard. Okay, I'm going to go through the alphabet and think about what the first letter of the second word might be. Well, the only thing I could come up with was hard acres, and I've a vague memory that you might describe maybe not a job part, but if you had some big project you were working on, the hard acres. It's also the long acre. But when I tried Googling that to see if it's a phrase, apparently there was a television program, The Hard Acres, all one word, about a Yorkshire farming family. But I do like it. We're almost at my own personal 30-minute mark, but I'm going to go ahead and check this. Okay. So much for The Hard Acres. I was very sure of that. Anyway, I won't reveal it yet. We'll see what else we can come up with. All right. How about park, of course, could be P in an automatic car. So could it be P and then a word for calm and it means judge? Yeah, I don't see that either. If we do have a word for calm ending in R. Oh, calm could be a verb as well, but I'm thinking it's going to be an adjective. And oh no, we have two O's to possibly go with an OB. Tiny drink, not allowed, unsuccessful ex-student. Could it be somebody who's been sent down, expelled? Somebody who failed, flopped. No, maybe I'm going to have more luck with my 14 letter Yeah, let me pause and contemplate some letter possibilities. All right, I did get it. I reread the clue, which is always useful, and see what I might have missed. And I thought, oh, maybe after a time on, scanner falling out might be an anagram of scanner. So maybe because, of course, we have the RNC at the beginning, maybe we have an anagram of scanner and then something to do with teeth and a T for time. And it's going to describe a number. So it might be a mathematical thing. And as I was saying, well, where's the S for scanner going to go? I thought maybe it goes there. And then I thought of, oh, a trans something number. Even though T I was thinking would come after the anagram of scanner, but I think it works. We have a T for time. Then we have our anagram of scanner. And then of teeth, of course, is dental. And I think I've heard the term a transcendental number. I think I've mentioned before I watch the number file videos on YouTube. I enjoy them, but I don't always remember what I see. Anyway, let's see. Here's what's missing from book. Oh my, a tiny bit. Oh, I'm wondering if it could end in en for that old en n dash we often see for a small space. Could that be a tiny bit? But what's missing? I'm wondering if it's going to start with O, and then we have something for my, might be another exclamation like well or something, and then a tiny bit. Or maybe it's what's missing from book O. That might be it. Oh my, a tiny bit. What's missing? No, not seeing that. Could that be PO, Judge, Park, Cam? I just keep thinking of polos. And then I think of the old joke. Was it a Tommy Cooper one about he thought he had a hole in his heart after he got an x-ray, but it turned out he just had a polo mint in his shirt pocket. Anyway, let me pause, and I think actually I'm going to go to word plays and look up what could have the TR and N for this one. All right, well, I'm glad I used word plays for this one. I could have maybe worked it out from the wordplay, but I think it's one where you have to know the answer and then work backwards. But if you were able to solve this, then you are a world-class solver. So you have to think of a book of the Bible, Deuteronomy, and then realize if you take away oh my, if that is missing from the book, then you are left with a deuteron, which is some kind of subatomic particle. Very, very tricky. Did not get that one. All right, so Judge, Park, Cam. Yeah, I think I'm going to look up synonyms of Cam and see if any jump out at me. No, I didn't see any synonyms of Cam that seemed to fit. But I did look again here and I thought, oh, another word for an ex-student or unsuccessful student would be a dropout. And so a tiny drink might be a drop. And if something is not allowed, it is ruled out, I suppose. So now does that help me with my Judge Park Cam? What's going to go between the O and the D? could be an R. Yeah, something order. But what? I don't get what that would be. Or OND? OLD? Ooh. Beholder. I suppose beauty is in the eye of the beholder. A judge might be a beholder, but how is that park and cam? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and check it. Oh no. All right. Yeah, not a good day for the check this button. Oh, a recorder, maybe? A judge. Oh, I think, do they call the judge in Scotland a recorder? Ah, I think a park might be a rec center, and then calm, order, they're not exactly the same. All right, let's check that. That is right. Oh my goodness. Tricky. So yeah, at the start I thought, oh, Imogen is being easy on us, but not really. Of course, I'm still still got my hard acres or whatever that is going to be. Oh, and here's another order back in penalty box. Yeah, I still don't see that. All right, I think I'm going to have to use wordplays.com to see what words this might be. Well, there are a lot of words that fit, and the one I liked most was telly, and so the definition would simply be box, as in what did you watch on the box last night? So order back. Oh, yeah, I mean, it could have been a hidden clue and I just didn't spot it, but I don't think it is. Hidden reversed clue, no. Um, is it the word let backwards? But then we have ly. How is that penalty? Yeah, yeah, I don't get that at all. Of course, I could be wrong. Let's check it. No, it is right. Ah, I'm thinking this now must be hard yards, of course. Yeah, even the American phrase for your back garden would be your backyard. Should have thought of that. And also, I know in American football, they talk about getting hard yards. I don't know. Haven't heard it as an expression for the toughest part of your job other than a reference to American football. Anyway, let's check all. I'm expecting. Yes, I think I mistyped or misspelled Deuteron and Deuteronomy. All right, that is on me. All right. Yes, that was tough. Hard yards indeed. All right, let's head over to 15 squared and get a few of these explained. All right, the blog today is by Andrew, and I'm rather glad to see he says he found this quite slow going. Let's see, hard yards. I would have guessed this was an American expression, but it seems to be Australian. So Jeff Down Under might be able to get this one easily. Recorder, sure enough, a rec is a recreation ground or park plus order for cam. All right, and 26, carpool anagrammed. Yeah, I think maybe went west. He doesn't really explain why it's an anagram of carpool, but I'm presuming went west. I don't know. I think I would have thought the phrase if for something going wrong or being rearranged would be it went south. My plans went south. Anyway, moving on. Own is private plus H and multi-story building is tall. That's yeah, all right. Tell is to order. And the last letter of penalty, of course, that makes sense. A cutter is a clipper, though his ships they're not the same, though I'm not sure I could explain the difference. All right. Now here is Jeff Down Under. Never heard of Oppos. Oh, it's in another puzzle today. Oh, but I thought he would say something about the hard yards. Oh, yes, and he hadn't heard of gooseberry in the British sense. Um, yeah, apparently it's called a pikelet in Australia. Here's someone with a master's in physics, and Deuteron was their last one. And yeah, the hard yards. Ooh, had pikelets with butter and honey for breakfast. Yeah, if people consider a Big Mac a snack, it explains a lot. Right. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, it seems like everyone found this quite tricky in places. If you and your kids watched Sooty and Sweep, that was barely cryptic. Yeah. All right. Well, that was tough, but I enjoyed it. Anyway, thanks as always for watching and have a wonderful day.